This is Stephen Robbins. Welcome to the Get It Done Guys quick and dirty tips to work less and do more. Managing a project can be enough of a challenge, but what do you do when you have to manage two projects at the same time? Listener Don wrote in, "Hi, Stever. I've recently been promoted to team lead at my call center job. They made me the leader of two teams that work on completely different projects. How can I organize my to-do list and time management to make sure both teams get what they need?" Don, welcome to the 21st century. Juggling a dozen things at once is just what we do. Unfortunately, our brains weren't really built for that. So today, let's explore how to juggle. You didn't say what your call center teams are in charge of, so common sense suggests that one team is doing outbound telemarketing for Grandma Cuddle's daycare center, while the other is taking inbound orders for Audrey 2 plant food. Most owners just don't have the stomach to do the dirty work when it comes to satisfying the desires of carnivorous plants. The problem's thrashing. Juggling multiple projects is hard because of thrashing. You start designing a script extolling the virtues of Grandma Cuddle's daycare. You're brainstorming a synonym for cattle prod, but you can't focus. The whole time your brain is worrying about Audrey 2 food inventory levels. And then, when you concentrate on Audrey 2 inventory, your brain worries about Cuddles filling her classes. She gets angry if classes aren't filled to capacity, and she's not cuddly when she's angry. You can't bring your full brain power to bear on either team because you're trying to do both at once. But paradoxically, you can manage both at once by creating a clean separation between the two. When you're focusing on Cuddles, you need to focus just on Cuddles. When you're focusing on Audrey 2s, you need to focus just on Audrey 2s. You can do this as long as your brain knows that everything is under control. The only question is, whose control? The answer is your calendar. Block out dedicated time each day for each team. From 8 a.m. until noon, you'll put your full attention on Grandma's indoctrination efforts. From noon to 1, you'll eat lunch. And from 1 to 5 p.m., you'll make the world a better place for Audrey 2s, which is what they want anyway. During the Cuddles hours, you'll be able to focus completely on Cuddles. Your brain will let you because it knows you already have the time blocked out for the Audrey 2s. During the afternoon hours, you can focus on Audrey 2s because your brain knows you've already worked on Cuddles, and you'll be doing so again tomorrow. You can mix and match the length of the time blocks. You can change when they are every day. The cornerstone of this method, however, is total dedication to the time block that you're in. Your brain will only play along if it knows you're sincere in keeping your agreements to focus. You also need to separate your to-do list. If your task list is a gigantic mishmash of Cuddles and Audreys, then just scanning the list itself will make your brain thrash. You want to scan just the to-dos that relate to the team you're concentrating on. You can have entirely separate project lists for each project, and then when you switch to working on a project, you just call up that project's list. Most electronic task managers will let you create per project lists. If you prefer paper, as I do, you may simply have one long list, and that's the method we covered in my post, How to Manage Your Task Lists on Paper. But if it's paper, make your written task list scannable using colored pens. I use Pilot erasable friction pens, 0.5mm width, 10 color pack. They've changed my life so much that I'm considering doing an entire episode on just those pens. Write all of your tasks in black, and next to each task, put a colored dot. You could use steel gray for Grandma Cuddles items, blood red for Audrey 2 items, and the blue skies of freedom for all other tasks. And now scan by color. Using the evolutionary miracle of your reticular activating system, you can choose the list you want to see, red for Audrey 2 items, keep that color in mind, and scan the list just to pick out all the tasks with that color. Your eyes will instantly find Survey Audrey 2s to find their favorite flavor of plant food. With just a little bit of practice, you'll be able to choose a color and scan your list, and you'll see only the tasks that belong to that team. Now you also have notes, paper notes and electronic notes for both teams. If you have electronic notes, tag each note with a hashtag and the name of the project, hashtag Cuddles or hashtag Audrey, and when working on the projects, simply filter your notes by the hashtag and you'll only see what's relevant. Your notes program doesn't necessarily have to support hashtags in particular. A simple text search for hashtag Audrey gives the same effect. In fact, that's how hashtags started, as a simple text convention. With hashtags, you can include both hashtags and notes that apply to both teams, so when your company generously decides to forego call center raises so the vice presidents can get their yearly bonuses for holding down costs, like call center salaries, you can have the honor of notifying both teams. For paper notes, the easiest way to focus is to use separate notebooks for each team. But since it's way more convenient to use one notebook for everything, you could do that too. Dedicate each page entirely to one of the teams. Write the team name in the bottom corner and the color that you've chosen for that team. And now just riffle through the page with your eye on the lower corner. And when you see barbed wire gray, you know it's a page about Grandma Cuddles and her campaign. Crimson Red, and it's Audrey 2's all the way. In addition to your dedicated time blocks, schedule time to think strategically. That's unstructured time where you put down your cell phone and you leave your computer. Yes, that's right. Put down your cell phone, leave your computer, and go think about what's happening with both of your teams, with the company, and where everything's headed. Spending time with the bigger picture is what you want to do. I recommend at least half an hour a day. Also reserve 1 or 2 time blocks for scheduled interruptions. If someone interrupts you at any other time, ask them to come back during your interruption time. You can read more about scheduling interruptions in the episode How to Stop Being Interrupted. Of course, with a call center, some things just can't wait. It's the middle of your Audrey 2 supply chain time, and foreign royalty calls your Cuddles team demanding that their child be moved to the head of the line. You can't very well put them on hold. They have hacksaws and you don't. Remember, you supply Audrey 2 food. You don't want to be Audrey 2 food. So grab your Cuddles notebook and take the call. Jot down all the relevant details in the notebook, and then get off the line and get back to serving your vegetable overlords. Then, when you start the next dedicated Cuddles time, review your notebook, add the action items to your Cuddles task list, and get hopping. You have a class to fill, and if you think foreign royalty can be scary, you've never seen Grandma Cuddles when she's displeased. There's no perfect way to manage 2 teams at once, but you can keep yourself sane by focusing on one at a time. Help yourself focus by setting aside dedicated time blocks, color-coding your task list items, and hashtagging your notes. Defer interruptions when you can, and when you can't, keep the diversion as brief as possible. Don, we have faith in you, and more to the point, the Audrey 2s have faith in you, and Grandma Cuddles has faith in you. She has a Defense Department order for $16 million worth of high-margin non-vehicular clutch discs, and it's going to take a lot of kids in Metal Shop to fill that order. I'm Steve Robbins. Follow Get It Done Guy on Twitter and Facebook. If you're an executive, entrepreneur, or sales professional and you want a partner to help you get even better at what you do, hire me as your coach. Learn more at steverrobbins.com. Work less, do more, and have a great life.